So for the first time in the history of this country, they've indicted a former president. And I've actually looked at the indictment. I'm not a lawyer.
We have it.
Yeah, we have it. And
we're not going to dive into it in detail because it's 16 pages of cut and paste Greek
It's
salad.
a bunch of bullshit. Well, most legal papers do that.
Yeah. It's quite atrocious.
It's boilerplate, copy that in, write in 3 sentences, boilerplate, right?
34 counts, literally cut and pasted.
Of the same thing.
Of the same shit with slightly different, words and whatnot. And none of it means a damn thing. You want to know why? Because the two other main players in this scenario have already refuted all of this publicly, including Cum Dumpster Stormy Daniels. And that's not me calling her that. She called herself that not too long ago. If you get everybody who watched Salty Cracker, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and listen, now, I don't even care if he put his meat into that nasty bitch. I don't care.
Who hasn't?
I don't care if President Trump literally stood at the back door of the White House with his dick hanging out of a hole in the screen.
If it was any other president, I would say that's far-fetched, Pop. But this is Trump we're talking about.
I don't care. He was good for the country. His policies were doing great.
I wonder if he puts the orange makeup on his cack, too.
He probably does.
You can hear the laughter in the background. We're going to introduce him here. We got Red Pill Rhino on us today. And Rhino's like, that is not an image I needed in my fucking head after the day that I've had.
His spray-on tan.
He's like, tss, 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 tss. Oh, hey, Toby. Tss, tss, tss. Word of the wise. Sons of various names from various mommies. Don't get it on the underside. My brother fell for that shit one time. My next oldest brother, my oldest brother tried to convince him that if he was going to go out on a date, it would be a good idea for him to accentuate the nether regions with some cologne. And he's like, make sure you lift your sack up.
Yeah, I learned that lesson when I was like 9 or 10 years old. And my older brother is the one that, we'd be fine. I'll be fine.
Yeah, nothing could go wrong here.
What could go wrong?
Hey, that's our job. That's the way it works. In if you have brothers. They fuck with you.
That's a good idea. Fairy shows up and just sticks the wand right out of your fourth point of contact.
Pretty much. But here's the thing that's going to happen. There's already scuttlebutt that the Republicans are going to start indicting people who are actively in the government now for shit that they've done.
Well, I mean, that could have something to do with the fact that we have a president in office that... he's provably committed numerous felonies.
Yes.
He's committed treason numerous times, and all of this is provable just with his son's laptop.
Yeah,
correct.
I was just going to say, the laptop doesn't prove anything at all,
No. That was just Russian misinformation.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Funny thing is, though, like you could read through this whole rigmarole of legalese. You want to know the one thing you're actually not going to see in 16 pages? A crime.
Yeah, I bothered to print the thing out just to see what it was in person, and it was a waste of 16 pages of paper.
Well, here's the thing. One, it's beyond the statute of limitations.
Yes. And two other agencies have already declined to prosecute on it, one of whom was the weaponized DOJ that spent 3+ years and millions of taxpayer dollars trying to get something on this guy.
And they've investigated him how many times? Here's
more
another
times
thing.
than I can count.
He is a billionaire. He has, 117 companies at one point he was controlling.
Yeah.
Yes, about 10% of them went bankrupt in 2008-ish, plus or minus 5 years before that. Big deal.
Yeah.
But he's got an army of tax people, an army of lawyers, an army of CEOs.
And that right there is one of the biggest problems. Prove that he knew anything about this.
I know. I mean, the thing is he is way up here at the top. Way up here at the top. These are low-level book, errors made in books that he doesn't even know about.
Accountants would handle most of it.
Yeah, he's doing all that himself.
Oh,
he's
totally.
signing every single one of those documents himself.
No.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
little orange thumbprints on every page. Oh, just ignore that. That one doesn't look like a thumbprint. That's Toby. I'm sorry. He has to make his opinion. Disregard the penis in the corner. Come on.
Oh.
This is one of the. I mean, of all the political hatchet jobs that I have seen just in the last 20 years,
Well, look at
this takes the fucking cake.
an entry in the detailed general ledger.
Yeah.
General ledger is kept by a bookkeeper.
Exactly.
And then the accountants take the books and they work on the tax returns.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right.
And again, it's his trust, Trump revocable trust. So again, he has no oversight in some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, Alvin Bragg, he's just a piece of shit. I mean, but maybe we're stupid. Maybe because we're not lawyers, we just don't know what's going on. Maybe we should ask some lawyers. Oh, fuck.
Here we go.
Prosecutors are still hazy about what crime Trump was trying to conceal by falsifying business records.
They're literally conducting this like a game of charades.
I know.
That would be a great comedy skit. Sounds like.
Sounds like, wee!
But they can't. But the thing is they can't. Oh my God!
Oh shit!
You
I
almost
almost
did it.
got it in your fucking teeth.
Hey now, hey, that's off limits, man. Come on. God damn you!
Oh, I was so close. One day.
Yeah, one day that'll be a bad day for the popster.
One day it'll just bounce off of the laptop and go right in your fucking nose, and you're gonna be like, "All right, I quit." But it just cracks me up that, like, I thought that I was doing something wrong.
But the thing
because
is,
I know that these falsifying business records in the first degree, these are normally misdemeanors, and most of the time they are not accompanied by jail.
But hang on, we have now. This is basically the opening salvo for the two-way rifle range that's coming.
Yeah, this in combination with certain narratives that were spun after 3 children and 3 educators were gunned down by a certain increasingly militant section of the population.
I'm just saying.
By the way, I will stay YouTube friendly, but there was a 6th attempt today in a row.
Yep.
The 6th one was thwarted. Happened right down the road from me. There's a whole deal about it. Just saw that video, but they busted him just in time. I guess he was 19, identified as, and was planning on going after 3 schools this time. So wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. You either play pretend with me or I'll kill your kids. Makes all the sense.
Yeah,
in the
We used to
world.
put these people in padded rooms, not celebrate them.
That is a rational thing. Like, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Stop pretending like anyone had a problem with this before you came after kids. All right? No one had an issue with it. Maybe it's a little icky, whatever. I'm not going to play pretend with you. Fine. You go your way, I go mine. I'm not going to tell you what you can or cannot do as long as you are a consenting adult. You come after my kids, though, we're going to have a big fucking problem.
Yep.
Yeah, and the left doesn't seem to get this. I think mainly because we've been operating divorce court and family court, and we literally have been stepping on, men's rights with their kids.
Well, not only that,
and everything for decades.
Not only that, but leftoids are notoriously ill-informed. They run on emotion. Over half of them have a mental illness. This is all documented. Okay. A combination of all those factors, this is what you get. People who are low information, low IQ, but quick to anger.
Let's come up with a new term for all of the idiots on the left and just call them culties.
Culties?
It's culties. Like literally,
Cultoids.
you ask them specific questions, they don't know.
Yeah.
They just keep parroting what they were told to say.
Yeah. What's a woman?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Oh, just amazing, amazing. And yet that they go along, despite being the hashtag resist crowd, they go along with everything the establishment has to do and say.
Yeah, they have
All of it.
literally, they have all laid down for the big green weenie. Wow.
And it's hard for me to tell anymore whether they're bots or AI or whatever. But a lot of the comments in news articles in Twitter, which I try to stay away from, that's a toxic relationship if I've ever saw one. But all these comments are just like, yeah, lock them up and throw away the key. Do you people even pay attention?
Like for what?
As a matter of fact, why is it when you have a social justice problem, you want a fair trial, you want to be represented by what is that? The groups that advocate for like minorities and stuff. You want all the representation.
The NAACP.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Yeah, that's it. But if somebody on the other side does something you don't like, or is accused, let's keep that clear here, accused of something, you don't even care about the trial. You just want to see him thrown away? Come on.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand. There's such a double standard. They're the party of equality and fairness and well, really equity. But
equity,
when it comes to the other side, screw them.
But the thing is that right there is going to be, again, one of the moving factors for the two-way rifle range. Because if the police and the system can be weaponized, and you're on the wrong side of that weapon, and every time they roll up, somebody's going to go to jail, disappear, or die, how long do you think it'll take before people say, I'm not going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what's going to happen when we lose faith in our justice system.
I've already lost faith in it.
Oh, fuck yeah, I have.
I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, you get to a point where if the justice system is being used as a tool for political gain, and they can just throw away whoever they want to, January, that date.
Yeah, a little bit.
Then what's the point? Where is the legal system anymore? It's obviously not a fair and just system if it's being used like a banana republic.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. I mean, look at this fat tub of shit trying to talk like he actually walks the walk. We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct. Alvin Bragg addresses media after the Trump arraignment. These are felony crimes in New York State, no matter who you are. First of all, they're not. They're misdemeanors. He elevated them to the level of felonies because he wanted to.
And he didn't even give us why.
Yeah.
It's not even, that has to be in the legal briefing, and it's not there.
And coincidentally, this comes after none other than Soros donated $400,000 to him through various reputable groups that he's a part of.
Yep.
You know what is a felony, though? I mean, obviously nothing I could see in this paperwork, but
nothing.
What actually is a felony is leaking the details of an arraignment before the court date, and there were only two parties privy to that. It was Trump and his attorneys and, well, the grand jury and Alvin Bragg himself. Oop. And somehow, magically, I knew last week on my show that there were 34 charges a week before the arraignment. Now, how did that happen?
Yeah, I think we all do.
That information is going around.
Loose lips, they suck some dicks.
And the thing is,
just ask Stormy.
That is a felony, bottom line.
But the most hilarious thing about this is that this, again, fat tub of shit says this, but in November of 2022, this article came out.
6 months ago.
Yeah, this was not written in response to him going after Trump. Woke Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg has downgraded over half of felony cases to misdemeanors as criminals are free to roam the streets of the Big Apple. Look at that! Look at him!
Yeah.
Well,
look at this guy! Hey! I'm gonna get me the orange man. You want a pudding pop and some Jello? How about some lubes? This guy looks more likely to drug your wife and bang her in the butt than Bill Cosby. 100 times out of 100. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Well, first of all,
yeah.
All right. What we have here is we have somebody who got a little bit of power and is literally going off the rails.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Given that, I think we can all agree this is destined to fail. This is going to blow up in his face. I think the $400,000, and then I think it was an earlier $1 million that was, donated to a particular organization that happened to be financing a lot of his campaign. I'm pretty sure that's a very nice, hefty consolation prize because I'm sorry, son, I'm not sure if you figured this out or not, but you're the fall guy. You're the patsy in this situation, and I'm sorry, but you're still going to get your let's be honest, 5 hots in a cot because you're a fat bastard. All right, you'll be fine.
Yeah, listen, there's some crazy shit afoot here, and I'm trying to do the 3D chess to figure out why they even tried this, and I think it's because they don't want Trump to run.
They don't want him to run.
Well,
and they're really, really losing their hold over the cultoids. The
culties.
Well,
after what happened at the Covenant School and now what was happening, you said 6 attempts on various schools in Colorado now.
6th, yes.
And this is just going to be the beginning of it. Mm-hmm. So,
well, and
nice
I want
diversion.
to point something out as well. When we're talking about these blue cities, these blue states, and I do think this is intentional, and I notice I'm kind of having some lag. I'm sorry about that, gentlemen. But what I'm noticing is the decriminalization of these blue states, the felonies. You'll have grape allegations, for example. They're catch and release. They're out the next day. If it's a
Democrat.
If it's a situation with a child, catch and release. They're out that same night. What they're doing is intentional. First
Absolutely.
of all, with this case, the Trump case, part of it is to say, don't you dare step out of line or you're next. But the other thing is releasing all these criminals back in a general population of the societies in these blue states is keeping people in fear. The police aren't coming anymore because most of the police quit that were good. Mm-hmm. The police that are here aren't even doing their jobs anymore. They don't care. They're not showing up. It's intentional. It's you have no one to help you but us, and don't you dare step out of line and oppose our views. I think it's all connected.
That, and of course, if you have more violent criminals on the street using illegal firearms for gun crime, it also, in their stupid brains, because they don't think like 99% of the population, they think, oh, well, if we can make them more afraid of guns, they'll be more apt to give them up. Meanwhile, the 90% in the middle of the bell curve are like, maybe I should get more.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, those that have committed most of the recent gun crimes got them legally. Secondly, most criminals don't follow laws. Just saying.
Just a bit. And their own arguments debunk their points every time. Well, if you outlaw abortion, women are just going to find a way to get them anyway. Okay, now do guns.
Yeah. Now listen, they've had a war on drugs for how long? They can't seem to stop that.
Since
and that's totally illegal.
Well,
what do you think is going to happen when you have the Second Amendment? It's part of the Constitution. Yeah. I mean, get the fuck out of here. Well, it's not going to fly.
The war on drugs, just like this, isn't actually for real. It's all political theater.
Well, until you went in South America, it got
the
pretty real.
Corrupt mother fornicators up in Congress coordinated with the cartels in the various countries that are bringing in the drugs. And they said, well, you can keep us richer if you put on a show in your country. Meanwhile, we'll pad your pockets if you let us slip shit through the border. And you get your 10% for the big guy. And there you go. There's your war on drugs.
Yeah, well, I don't know about all those details.
It's been very beneficial for the industrial prison complex out there.
And I'm sure Kamala would know nothing about that.
Yeah, that's,
holding people in prison past their sentence to use them as slave labor, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Nice. Just nice. Oh, man. This whole situation is just great. And there's a whole article here that you can see on our website. If you go to redonkulous.com, find the stream links here. All the crimes that Alvin Bragg shrugged off to go after Trump.
Here we go.
Yeah, he upgraded an otherwise misdemeanor charge to a felony. Yep. Via an untested legal theory. Isn't it amazing how that works? I want to see how that goes. Those payments to women were unseemly. That doesn't mean they were illegal. Shit, even the Washington Post has to be like, hey, wait a minute. When the Washington Post slams on the brakes, your case has problems. And not only that, if you actually thought this was a slam dunk, you wouldn't need 34 counts now, would you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all right. Now, even if they did convict Trump, that would really kick off a shitstorm.
Yeah, it would.
It would, especially if they, 100 years in prison. That's not going to go over well with half the country.
Yeah. I just wanted to throw this up here because I was saying earlier about the Soros donations and everything. I wasn't talking out of my ass. Again, all sources on redonkulous.com.
Yep. That's our MO.
We like to share.
Yeah.
And you know what? If we're wrong, we'll admit it. Unlike, certain portly DAs.
Yeah. We've been wrong quite a few times.
Hey, bitches. Fat bastard.
Yeah.
Because, when you go to the all-you-can-eat buffet, it doesn't say all-you-can-eat in here. That's why I bring 3 coats in a big bag.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why the chick on the left is happy. She bought the BBC myth, and then she goes home. He drops his pants, and she's like, the cake was a lie.
Hey, at least you got Popeyes out of it. So
I don't know, man.
Why does your dick smell like hot sauce?
But here's the thing.
Oh, God.
We have the left and the right, and you have a bunch of people in the middle.
Yeah, most of us, I would say.
Nothing can be done until we get a majority of the people in the middle to move to one of the two sides.
Yeah.
All right. Now, rational people, are they really going to move to the grooming crazy side?
No.
Or are they going to go to the right, which tends to be more fiscal secure, more common sense,
less regulation over your daily life?
So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, the longer this goes on, the more power they're going to lose.
Yep. I certainly hope so.
Especially if we actually are successful in stopping the whole grooming thing. That means all of these, all confused poles and holes.
And all these new
they're going to die on the vine.
Yeah, all these new gender-affirming clinics will go out of business. How dare you?
Here's another thing I'm working on. Is I'm trying to get all of those symbols for all of these different genders and do a little video on that.
Well, all you got to do is be like, okay, now pick the 2 genders that are on this chart that can biologically procreate. Okay, we're done.
The rest
See you next time on the Reading Rainbow. Let's get LeVar Burton in here to read this shit.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Popp for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.